It's New Year's Eve. It's the final day. It's round 4 even of the Mailbag Royal Rumble. I'm joined by yesterday's winner, Keith Tomlin, who gets off the board with a point because he carried that through from yesterday. I'm also joined by Laura, Mike, Kate, Dave, Foxy, and Ed. Ed, it's your first Mailbag. Are you filled with trepidation for this, or you pretty relaxed?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's just fine. Well, that leads me perfectly into. I'll explain. So basically what's going to happen is I've got one hot topic, which is a question based on a news story from sometime this year. Then there's 2 Ask Us Anything questions, which have been sent in by people on Twitter over the last year. And then there's 2 true or false questions, which basically usually decide who wins. If that doesn't decide the winner, I have got the tiebreak sorted, so I won't have any fanning about at the end of that. So hot topic. Question based on a news story from April. If you know the answer, shout the name of a random Everton player and you get to answer first. If you get it right, you get a point. If you don't get it right, someone else gets to answer. We went to 3 yesterday, didn't we, Keith? So we got it. Yeah. So 2 wrong answers and then Keith got on the 3rd.
Yeah, I bided my time and waited for them to get the wrong answers out of the way.
You did. I thought it was very odd that you actually had the right answer but took 3 goes to get it.
It's tactical, you see. It's all about laying down a marker.
And it definitely worked as well. Right, so the hot topic, based on a news story from April. What's the strangest cure you've ever heard of?
Simon Davis.
Becky.
Oh my
God.
Wow.
Simon Davis wins it. Go ahead, Keith. What's this?
Was it Donald Trump suggesting that to cure coronavirus, you might want to drink household bleach?
It was indeed.
Oh my God, was that in April?
That was April.
No, that was about 4 years ago.
This
Bloody
year's
hell.
time is a dead concept.
It is, because yesterday we found out, I think, Operation Big October. Yeah. Doesn't it seem like months and months and months ago that the Red by the league? Bizarre. So yeah, Keith, that is the right answer. So what's the strangest cure you've ever heard of?
So it's not technically a cure, this one, but it is the recommended medical advice. If you are stung by a creature called a tarantula wasp, which just sounds fucking terrifying in itself.
No, thanks.
That doesn't exist. That does not exist.
Google tarantula wasp and you will never sleep again. The recommended medical advice if you are stung by a tarantula wasp is to lie on the floor and scream.
That's also the recommended cure for 2020.
Oh my God.
Yeah, where do these things knock about, you know?
Not here, thankfully.
Behind your leg.
Look at that. Like Mike's showing us that. Look at the fucking size of that thing.
Holy crap.
The only thing I've ever encountered that was more terrifying is a camel spider.
Oh, they look horrific.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google that as well now, aren't I?
I've been chased by a camel spider before. And it's in Iraq and it's not nice. They're not actually trying to bite you. They're just trying to get into your shadow because they're too hot.
All right.
Like they're chasing you.
They're trying to be your friend.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Do you know what? They're more scared of you than you are of it. I actually doubt it somehow.
Oh, and all the lies that we say to small children.
Yeah, not having that at all. Right, lie down and scream. I like that, Laura.
I don't know. I'm going to beat that, but there was I think read somewhere about the ancient Egyptians using they put dead mice in their mouths to help cure toothache.
Oh.
I don't really know how that works or whether it worked or not. I don't know if someone wants to try it, but yeah.
What was your toothache by giving you rabies or something?
It just cause something worse and then distract yourself from the pain of the toothache, I guess. I don't fancy trying it, to be honest.
No, not at all. And they were meant to be an advanced civilization. Mike?
I don't know if it's probably a well-known cure more than a lesser-known one, but I think Lucozade need to change their marketing strategy from having all these fit athletes on treadmills and John Barnes doing keepy ups with the can and lashing it in the bin They just need man on couch, hungover, drink, 2 hours later, alive. That, I mean, if they want to take it off me, I'll have it. You know, I'll gladly be in the advert. But I think that is the best, the only cure and the best cure known to man for a hangover. Lucozade.
Has anyone ever had original Lucozade when they're not ill?
Oh God, no! Why? Why would you do
I
that?
haven't. It's the only time it gets brought round when you're ill.
Yeah.
Original Lucozade.
Can I, Les?
And the lid's always dead sticky.
Yeah, horrible. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
No, I was going to say, like, my answer was Lucozade and grapes, because no matter what ailment you've had, if you ever spend time in hospital, like, I basically had to have my heart stopped 8 years ago, and I've got a defibrillator in my chest now. And when I come around, got wheeled back to the room that I was in Broad Green, and there were about 8 massive 2-litre bottles of Lucozade and about 12 different types of grapes. And it just seems like, I don't know whether it's an old thing, because it's like your nan does this sort of thing, but whenever you're sick, no matter what it is, Lucozade and grapes are the cure. It's like the magic sponge in footy. You know, when someone gets injured, like, you could be you're sitting there with your leg in two, but a magic sponge is always applied. Someone gets the sponge. It's like when you're ill in hospital, it's got to be Lucozade and it's got to be a bunch of grapes. And I have just no idea what the idea is behind that. And why Lucozade? Why was Lucozade known as like what was it? It was some sort of like home remedy. What's the deal with Lucozade?
It used to be in a glass. Yeah, it used to be in a glass bottle in the chemist, didn't it?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like
People showing their age.
Yeah. You
And it was always sticky. The top of it was always sticky. Didn't matter whether anyone's drank out of it or not. Horrible.
Yeah, you used to look forward to being sick as a kid because your granddad would bring you a bottle around.
Kate.
Yeah.
I'm tying mine in with the gratuitous boob shot, you'll be pleased to know, because I was told that when I had my kids and I was trying to breastfeed and it's really hard and everything hurts, that very, very cold, frozen or refrigerated cabbage leaves are what make these feel better. And it works.
What an inconvenient time for my screen to go blank.
Are you all shocked by that?
No, I remember
just met with complete silence.
No, that takes me back, to when the kids were born. I remember putting leaves in the fridge.
It's like you would never ever have cabbage in the house ordinarily. At least I don't think so anyway. But then every shelf was just full of cabbages because everything hurts. But it totally does work.
Yeah. Well, when I used to take Jay down to bottle feed him at 3 in the morning, to just put 2 on. Foxy.
Putting urine on a jellyfish sting, so it doesn't make any difference to the pain, but it does cause a bit of extra embarrassment. I had an occasion, I got stung on a beach in Devon or Cornwall somewhere, and fortunately we had some old kids' nappies with us in a kind of bag, and it was a wet one rather than like a solid one. So I kind of put it on my leg like a cold compress, made absolutely no difference, and just made my leg smell. So yeah, jellyfish, stings and wee don't go together.
Everyone got that from friends.
That's just an old wives' tale made up by a pervert. That's just so they can just flop themselves.
Yeah, I know that now.
Once it became a Friends episode, everybody thought it was true then. So
yeah.
By some pervert on the beach. Yeah, I hope you love it. All right.
Yeah. You look like you've just been stung by a jellyfish. Here's me willy.
I tell you what, I've had worse lines where
I know what will make that feel better.
Hanging about by the beach with a bag of jellyfish, just letting them out every now and again.
Instead of growing weed in your loft, you've got a jellyfish farm.
Ed, pull us out of this mire. Any mad cures you know of?
Yeah, let's move away from piss, shall we? I mean, to be fair, Donald Trump did a good job competing, I think, with his mix of sunshine, moonlight, good times, and Dettol. But I'm fascinated by prehistoric surgery for headaches, which is something called trephination. So now, obviously, we know headaches are caused by 5G or Gylfi Sigurdsson or something. In those times, they thought it was caused by bad spirits. They thought the solution to get bad spirits out of someone's head was to get a drill and just drill through their head, create a big hole in the skull, just pull out a piece of their skull and create a hole for all the spirits to come out. And once that was done, the person would be given the piece of their skull rather than, pull it back. They'd wear it as a necklace to ward off all the evil spirits. So there are all these people going around, just pieces of their skulls on as a bit of jewellery. It might come back. Who knows?
I think that might have happened to Gylfi Sigurdsson.
If you wear the skull, you could always put a dead mouse in the hole, maybe.
Or Lucas Aid.
Yeah.
Or Lucas Aid.
A few grapes, it's all good.
Or piss.
Oh, do you know what? Everybody.
Yeah, mate, I know what'll fix that. That's amazing.
I'd be waiting for such an occurrence. Here you go, mate.
Right, everyone gets a point there. Moving on to Ask Us Anything, because that was a sensational bit of hot topic in that. So Ask Us Anything. I will just go round the board here, so I'll just pick your names out. Back in October, at BB Proud asked, since the media continues to push the Pickford narrative, not sure what that was, what's something that no one will ever let you forget and move on from? Laura, come to you first.
Oh, God. I don't want to leave you speechless again, Les. There's either going to be something like man-related, boy-related, relationship-related, or I could probably go more recently on Christmas Day, because I know that it's going to be brought up all the time now. Basically, was sick on Christmas Day everywhere, in my bed, all over myself, all over my bedroom, absolutely everywhere, and my mum's not letting me forget it. And she's brought it up a few times, and I kind of went round on the 27th. She didn't talk to me on Boxing Day at all, so I was just like, right, okay, fair enough, don't blame her. Went round on the 27th with like a little sad puppy with my tail between my legs and a bunch of flowers, and went round and apologised. And she opened the front door and just laughed in my face and was like, you're just a dickhead. Because every single time I was sick when I was like 16 at a mate's house, and she still never let me forget that. And she sent me round the next day with a bunch of flowers, which is why I think now every time I be sick, I've got to get my mum a bunch of flowers. She's played an absolute blinder there, really, in sort of instilling that into my mind that every time I'm sick and drunk, I've got to get my mum some flowers. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be forgotten anytime soon, because it always happens.
Just as one fades, a new one kicks in.
Yeah.
Mike?
Bringing it back to piss.
There's your title of the show, Les.
Bringing it.
I don't think I'll get that past Matt, if I'm honest.
It's about 7 or 8 years ago now. Went out with the lads and came back and went to the toilet in the middle of the night, and thought that the washing basket in the bathroom was the toilet, lifted it up, full in, but it only sort of came to light maybe a couple of days later. It started to smell a bit, and that's never been forgotten. Any time I go out for a drink now, that's the what I'm not to do.
In the washing baskets again. Yeah. I like the fact that you took the lid off and everything.
Oh yeah. I wish there'd been a camera, because I reckon I'd have gone for the flush and everything. Just like
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Ed?
I can't forget about it because there's a record on the internet, but I once inadvertently started a riot. I don't think that needs any context. Enough said, right? So one thing about me is that at university, while some people play varsity and represent their university at a real sport, like football or hockey or athletics, I did it at darts. And to represent a university at darts, you just need to retain your hand-eye coordination after 5 pints, which I could do. So we played an event against the deadly neighbours, Sheffield Hallam, in front of 800 fans. And basically, we played, there was 7 matches. As soon as your university won 4 matches, you'd won the whole thing. I was match number 5. We were 3-1 up. If I had just lost, it would have continued. The intrigue would have risen. Everyone would have been happy. Unfortunately, I absolutely battered my opponent and gave it large at the end. I'll be honest, I was a bit cocky. And in the absence of actual sporting intrigue, the 800 fans who had been drinking a lot of beer decided it would be more fun just to start fighting. All hell broke out. I'd gone for a pint after my game, as you would, and came back. If you've ever seen that gif from Community of Donald Glover coming back with his pizza and everything's on fire, it was essentially like that. People were scrapping. There was a security guard holding someone up by the throat. Everyone was screaming. It ended up in the Sun, apparently. Obviously, I wouldn't read it, but it ended up there. And yeah, I can't help but feel at least 5% responsible for that. So I can't live that down.
That's pretty impressive. That's starting to riot at the darts.
Yeah, you know, apparently once beer's involved, you don't have to do much.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Kate?
A love of Kickstart, not quite riot, but at least a lifelong obsession with wanting to get some kind of sponsorship deal with Pot Noodle. And my mum got divorced when I was 7. My mum took me and my brother to Tenerife on holiday to somehow make up for it all. It was fucking awesome. And on day 1, when you meet up with all the other kids when you're on holiday and stuff, and then you're in a gang and that, and everyone was around the pool table all the time, and proceeded to spill an entire chicken and mushroom pot noodle all over the felt, basically, on the pool table. So then got bored at basically by the people who work in the hotel, and my mum was like, can you keep your ruly kids in check, please? Day 2, I did it again by accident. Right, same pool table as well. Flew home, went away for the week. It was amazing. Flew home, went up to see my dad for the weekend. He just had new carpets in. Lashed a pot noodle all over his new carpets in the living room as well. Smashed it. So yeah, I literally, it's like eyes on. If I get to eat a pot noodle at any point, people have to like stand round me and that to make sure I don't just voluntarily fucking lash it all over the place.
To be fair, Kate, a pool table in Tenerife seen a lot worse than pot noodle. Like.
9-year-old me hadn't got onto that, but now I think it maybe wasn't as bad.
Yeah, that was not. Dave,
I don't want to bring it back to human waste, but I've got a couple, but I think I'll have to say this one. I was known as the fella who went for the shit in school.
A brave man. Only a brave man.
Which when you think about it now, actually going to relieve yourself in school, it's not a bad thing. I don't think kids suffer from the indignity of that in school these days, and I presume the toilets are a lot cleaner. But I was bursting to go one day, and put my hand up. Obviously, went out, went to the toilet, come back, and just basically because of the timing of it. Obviously, it takes a little bit longer to do that than have a piss. And a couple of the lads in there just saying, "You've just been for number 2, haven't you?" Like it was something really, really bad. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, "Yeah, but what's wrong with that?" Like, and it stuck with me throughout school that I was the fella who was willing to go to use the school toilets to have a number 2, and it made me that much paranoid. It's quite sad, actually. My mum started buying me constipation tablets so I didn't have to go for the shit in school. And to the point where we went on a school trip once and I had these really bad stomach pains because I was obsessed with taking these tablets so I didn't need to go for the shit in the company of anyone from school. And I ended up not being able to like go around on... We went to Camelot and I basically ended up staying on the coach. Because I was feeling that sick and that ill from taking these constipation tablets, because I was paranoid about going to the toilet. And the funny thing about it is, when like you can see people in school like on a night out or whatever, and you haven't seen them for years, and like one girl came up to me about 4 years ago and said, "Oh, hey Dave, how's it going? You doing journalism and stuff like that, are seeing, you know, all the pleasantries are observed. And then she goes, "Did you really have a shit in school?" Like, yeah. And she went, "Yeah, it was dead weird, that, wasn't it?" I was like, "No, it wasn't weird. I was in the toilet. What are you supposed to do? So, yeah, I'm forever known by my school friends as that lad who went for the shit in year 8.
I love the way 20 years later, dead weird, that, isn't it, mate, though? Come on.
No, I know.
Who says that?
Don't know. I mean, do any of your kids, like those of you who've got kids, I mean, is that a thing about going to the toilet in school?
Never go for a dump in school.
Honestly. I mean, the state of the toilet was an absolute disgrace, but what are you supposed to do?
I
buy a load of constipation tablets. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Oh,
outside of break time, I reckon you can risk it. So if you go mid-left, I reckon you can risk it then, because there won't be anyone about.
Yeah, but these were clever little bastards in my class who worked out that I'd taken a longer time to go for the shit than I did to go for the piss.
Oh my God.
And it stuck with me.
10 minutes. They're going to know.
You shouldn't say 10 minutes having a dump.
Why do blokes take so long in the toilet? Why can't you just go and go?
Having a dump in school is not about enjoying the dump. It's just about getting it.
Enjoying the dump.
Yeah.
I actually think I could have just done it in the classroom and had less of a better reputation than I do now. Honestly, I've never ever been allowed to forget it.
Foxy, take us out of this, mate.
I can't raise it. So every June we have a kind of like a family thing. We go to Alton Towers in June, and this particular year is just a few months after my 4th child was born. So I took the other 3 with me. Really hot day, walking down through Alton Towers, kind of getting to see BB's land. Thought I'd put some sun cream on the kids, being a good kind of diligent father. As I was putting the sun cream on the kids, a big fat seagull flew over the head and just shat on the top of my head. They literally kind of landed, then dribbled down the side and down my neck and into my t-shirt. Seagulls have, I don't know how the best Dave, but they produce a lot. So I kind of went to the local nearest toilets, had some baby wipes with me because I had the kids. So I cleaned myself off, put a hat on, and the rest of the day was fine. We had a lovely day at Alton Towers. But now, on at least a monthly basis, the kids, when they see a bird, we sit down, we have like Christmas dinner with turkey. They raise, "Oh, do you remember when Dad had a bird poo on his head?" And like they forget the whole Alton Towers thing, a lovely day out, kind of going on all the rides. It comes back to that first 5 minutes of me being pooed on. It's the only thing they remember.
Amazing. Getting trolled by your own kids is the ultimate.
Christmas dinner as well, just because there's a turkey on the table.
Like literally a few days ago. And this is like 4 or 5 years ago. It happened all the time.
Oh yeah, you're never getting rid of that one, mate.
Amazing.
Heath?
See, mine's is not toilet based. Thankfully, mine's is spousal based. And we were a couple of years back. We were in Tesco's, and she went up the stairs to have a look at the clothes and that. And she tried this coat on, and she thought like she was giving it the preening about. Oh yeah, I like this. And I thought I was quite diplomatic about it. And I was I don't really know if it, like, the style suits you. I don't know if the fit suits you or not. And somehow that's translated every so often now to when we go into Tesco's to look at clothes as, remember that time you told me I looked shite in that coat? I thought I was far more diplomatic than that, but apparently I told her she looked shite in this coat.
Oh,
so she didn't buy the coat.
Nice.
It literally would have been easy to just say it looks shit.
Well, you know, whatever I did, it worked because she didn't buy the coat. So
Job done.
And that's the real quiz.
Yeah, it's a good job she never, because she looks shite in it. So
Wow.
I'm bottling out to this one and giving everyone a point again because they're wonderful stories. And shaking her head there. So the second one, back in September, Keith asked, Do you reckon you could beat a sheep in a race around the 400-metre track? If so, by how far? The sheep is wearing running spikes and a vest. You've got jeans on. Keith, I'll come to you first on this one.
So, I can finally reveal that this was all a ruse. It was all a massive ruse. What you do is around the 350-metre mark, you just set up a load of Velcro strips in the sheep's lane. So it doesn't matter how quick the sheep runs off. His wool gets snagged in the Velcro and you can just saunter past in your jeans for the win.
So even if you've got like dead skinny jeans on, like the young lads at you can just like hobble past.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how shite you look in those jeans either. you can just saunter past and the sheep is stuck. He's not getting out of that Velcro.
I still think it'd beat me.
You just make sure you don't wear a woolly jumper and stay away from the Velcro and you're all right.
Foxy, give it that revelation. Or you can take that revelation out of it, remove the Velcro if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to remove the Velcro. So being from the West Country, I've spent quite a lot of time watching sheep. And sheep...
As you do.
That's a statement.
and sheep is sprinters, they're not distance runners. So I kind of think if there's a shorter race than 400 metres, the sheep would clearly win. And probably before lockdown, before Christmas, I would have fancied myself to beat a sheep over 400 metres. But my jeans have got a bit tighter over Christmas. I'm not sure I can manage 400 metres in one go. So I think probably right now the sheep would just win naturally. Just my lack of general fitness, and I think the sheep would beat me.
Maybe dig out an old pair of sort of baggy 90s jeans, let them out.
Yeah,
might work.
I've got some in the attic.
I used to buy jeans with 34-inch legs. My legs are about 28 inches long.
Why?
Because that was the 90s and everything was too big.
I know, but it was just an attack on you for being slightly not 6'4".
Go on then. Slightly. Well,
love you.
I'm 5'8". You're round up from there, surely.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
You're only 5'8".
Yeah.
Sure.
maybe 5'8.5".
Mind you, mate, I've spent a lot of time sitting down next to you, Liz, so I haven't really noticed how tall you are.
I've obviously just got very small legs.
every half-inch counts, mate.
It does.
I noticed there was a booster seat in the passenger seat for you, Liz. Didn't notice you used that.
Like, Dave, did you beat this sheep or not?
Absolutely not. No, and it'd be over several days as well. Oh no, there's no way I beat a sheep.
Imagine you think the festive runner spikes might help. To be honest, it's got all the gear.
I was thinking about this, and I went as serious as Googling the anatomy of a sheep and how its legs work.
Hope you did that incognito.
Foxy's absolutely right in terms of the sprint runners, but I think by the time it had recovered from its sprint, I still wouldn't have caught it up. So the sheep would definitely be beating me, mate. Absolutely.
Kate, what have you Googled lately?
Right. Just nothing as weird as you are, apparently.
Oh, you're cracking up there.
Despite being like 80% carbs and I'm sorry, I will sit very still. Can you still hear me?
Hold on there 1 sec.
I think she sounds great.
Is it just Brian?
Yeah.
Or is Kate stuck in like some sort of time loop?
Just had a bevy, that's all.
Okay, we'll come back in a minute.
Into a vortex and the sheep's just drifting past her with its spikes floating off into the distance. That's how she's going to beat the sheep.
Okay, we'll come back in a minute. Ed?
Look, I'd trash the sheep. 2 words. Mind games. Mind games. Right. In my fridge, I've got some leftover lamb from Christmas. Bring that out. I'd show it to the sheep. Hiya, mate. Haven't seen little Jimmy around for a while, have you? Funny that. Eats a bit of the lamb. enjoy it. Good luck, mate. See you at the end. He'd be gone. His head to be gone. That'd be it. While he's having an existential crisis at the start, I'd wander around in my jeans. Sorted.
Fair enough. Nice job. I mean, to be fair, the sheep runs the other way at this point, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. His head's gone at that point. Yeah.
That's a shout. Brutal, but whatever works. Kate, try again.
Can you hear me? Do I sound normal?
I think so.
Don't think you'd ever have.
Oh, listen. Not only will I beat a sheep, I'll be round to yours in minutes.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't think
Not
that sounded like a threat, to be honest. I'm going to beat the sheep, Dave. I'm going to beat you as well.
Yes, I would beat the sheep because I got new trainees for Christmas, didn't I? Nailed it.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey,
smashed
do you
it.
want to show us those new trainees? Have you got them there? Just say.
Yes.
There you go.
Belters then.
Spankers.
Mike?
I think I took this a bit too seriously. Well, I googled how fast the sheep is. And they can shift. They can shift a bit. Like it said, males are quicker than the females, and rams.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Of course they are.
Rams.
Rams can get up to 20 miles an hour. Now, I thought that was quite quick.
Yeah.
Because I think if I go running like longer distances, I do like 10-minute miles. So that's what 6 miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
There's no way a ram's running 20 miles an hour. That's like a car speed.
Hey, has Google ever been wrong, Dave? Has Google ever been wrong?
I think it might be.
Things are never thought of here on a podcast. There's no way a ram's running 20 mile an hour.
Can someone get a video of this up? Like of a ram doing 20 mile an hour? What speed does Usain Bolt get to?
Speed.
Usain Bolt, don't they do like 30? Like,
Yeah.
Hang on.
like a sprinter does 30 mile an hour, doesn't it?
I reckon 20 is about Seamus Coleman pace.
Laura's piped up now.
Yeah. He's beating Gylfi Sigurdsson around the middle of the park, and
Gylfi Sigurdsson's stuck in the Velcro now.
I think my plate of lamb is beating
Usain Bolt runs.
Oh,
Usain Bolt runs at 27.8 miles per hour, apparently.
I'm not having a Rams competing with Usain Bolt for half the race. That's not happening. There's no way a Ram's doing 20 miles an hour. Is a ram a sheep? I don't know.
it's a man sheep, isn't it?
A male sheep. A man sheep.
Back to your point. These 20 mile an hour rams.
I read these 20 miles an hour rams, but I reckon I could have it, but the genes would be a bit of a struggle. And is there a sheepdog involved? Because I reckon that could get it up to speed quite quickly.
Good shout there.
Yeah,
It's another variable we not considered.
it's just so many variables: velcros, dogs, rams, Usain Bolt, the lot.
According to Quora, a German police car clocked a runaway sheep at 45 kilometers per hour in 2008, which is comparable to Usain Bolt's world record speed.
Yeah.
So sheep are sprinters.
Amazing.
But they've got little tiny like matchstick legs, haven't they?
This is exactly what I wanted to happen from this question.
Keith, you absolute genius.
I just love chaos.
Like, you've got all of these people looking at like random stuff on Google about sheep.
I want Google analysts sitting in their headquarters going, why the fuck have we got a spike in Google's about sheep top speed?
What about the knees as well? Can they sustain this level of pace? The knees look like.
I mean, 400 meters. It's not quite a sprint, but it's not a distance race by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, isn't it what they traditionally say? The person who's the best at the 400 meters is the fastest man, don't they? That was like Michael Johnson, wasn't it?
Mm. Like consistent.
So how consistent is the sheep, and can they hurdle? Because if they hurdle when they spot the Velcro, then my theory's right out the window.
Well, if they're getting away from German police, they got to be pretty. if you've got time to, for the police to go, what's that, and then get up to it,
Have we considered if they've shaved?
Oh,
aerodynamics.
Go and find out. We just have to go and sort this out. Next mailbag. We'll go to Athletic Club.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey everyone, it's Mailbag from Witchery Athletic Centre. Let's go.
Laura, come on in. Are you going to beat this sheep?
I'd just like to know whether it would be a fair race, because I'm quite injury prone. So would we have would there be a sheep available with a dislocated leg?
I mean, if you want to dislocate the sheep's leg before the race, that's on you.
That's on your conscience.
I'll give it a good go. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably break something mid-race. I'd probably be winning, turn around and show off to the sheep, giving it, and then fall over and break my neck.
Giving it the big one. Starting a riot in the darts hall. I'll fall over and yourself.
It's easy to do.
Sounds it.
It is, yeah, sounds it. But yeah. Basically,
if that was anything. I'm not sure how I can score that one, to be honest. As the score stand, Keith's on 4 and everyone else is on 2, going into true or false. So it could quite feasibly become a tie break. Oh no, it can't, can it?
You fucked it up, Les.
Oh, Les,
I haven't fucked it up. This is just how the score This just proves that I don't make it up unless I give everyone else a point and keep it competitive.
Whoa. I don't want your sympathy.
You don't want my sympathy points.
I want it because I said I would beat a sheep. I said I would beat a sheep.
I'll take Kate's as well.
I said I'd beat a sheep.
Foxy gets Kate's sympathy points.
Kate's bought new webs for this.
Bollocks.
Foxy, you're on 4. All to play for. As we go.
Oh, way. This is a bit wrong.
Points as well. Everyone got the sympathy points except Kate and Foxy Bagsy did some.
This is going to cause a riot in a second, and it's all because Ed.
Good, I'm happy because at least I've done it with integrity.
Does that mean I'm on 5 then, Les?
Well, you didn't get a bonus point, but I feel a bit bad about that.
Nah, I'm on 4.
Why don't you just give us all 4 points and then we'll crack on?
Winner takes all.
Yeah. It's a bit rum, this.
It is a bit, isn't it? Keith, you're going to have to go on 5 then.
Yeah.
It's
only fair.
Oh, I'm sorry. But it had to end like this, didn't it? It ended in chaos. True or false anyway? True or false? Give us a T. True, an F for false. Kate, have you frozen or you're really pissed off with me? I can't tell.
No, I'm just really pissed off with you. I was just waiting for you to notice.
Okay.
Right. Gonna get the frozen cabbage out.
Held that angry pose for quite a while.
It was. Right, first true or false. A cara navel is a type of bitter lemon.
A coup.
Cara. So, Laura. True. Mike. True. Big true. Foxy true. Ed false. Keith true and Dave true. Lovely stuff. Australia is wider than the moon.
You do an F. Fuck.
Laura said false.
How did you do that? Fuck.
Keith says true. Mike says hashtag. Okay, what did you say?
False.
False. Dave. What's that, Dave? False. False. Foxy. True. Right, this is where you need to talk amongst yourselves while I top up the points. So, the answer to the cara navel is a type of bitter lemon. It's false. It's a type of orange.
Fuck.
So,
Dave, calm down. I could hear that from outside.
Only Ed got that right.
I thought a sheep just gone past
That
Dave's
means we're
car.
all out, isn't it? That means everyone else out apart from Ed.
Right. And Australia is wider than the moon. The moon sits at 3,400 kilometres. How fast do you reckon a sheep could cover that? While Australia's diameter from east to west is almost 4,000 kilometres. And that's true. So Keith gets a point. Kate gets a point. Laura doesn't. Dave doesn't. Foxy does. Mike doesn't. Ed does.
Fuck's sake.
Finished on 6. Foxy and Ed have finished on 5. Kate's finished on 3. Laura's finished on 3. Dave's finished on 3. Mike's finished on 3.
Joke.
I've exposed myself as the great shit at a Merchant Taylor's Boys School for this.
Keith, you did get the extra point for your question. So would you like to take it to a tiebreaker? It's basically you could win or
Be
you
a knobhead, Keith, and say no.
lose.
I mean,
It's like the tipping point.
for
Basically.
entertainment's sake, I should, but I'm not gonna because I want to win.
Good lad. Good lad.
Oh, fuck off, Keith. Honest to God.
Do you know what? I've had a
And
great
you look
afternoon.
shit
I've had a
in
lovely
that
time.
t-shirt.
I still feel bitter about losing on the tie-break to Adam Jones a couple of months back.
Oh shit, yeah.
So I'm not running
my
the gauntlet
God.
tie-break again.
I'm this close to getting
Running
constipation
scared.
tablets out.
And Les, and you want this to be more about Everton, really? Come on.
Well, I know.
Why?
I'm thinking now, instead of that, just get everyone on at once. I've got to say, that is possibly the best mailbag ever. Like, that was such a laugh. Keith is the 2020 Royal Rumble mailbag champion.
Well done, Keith.
Does that,
Congratulations, boys.
since this is the last mailbag that's for points, does that mean that I'm like the perpetual champion forever then, or?
Oh,
Well, no.
Well,
because-
until next New Year when we come back.
Well,
and do
yeah,
it
you
all
hold the title now till next New Year, yeah.
2020
Excellent.
champion.
So yeah, I mean, the bragging rights are there.
They're going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm getting that engraved somewhere.
Yeah, Keith, it was a well played game. Everyone, it was a really well played game. That was definitely the funniest mailbag ever. Some startling revelations in there that I don't think any of us will ever live down. Thanks to Laura, thanks to Keith, thanks to Mike, thanks to Kate, thanks to Foxy, thanks to Ed, and thanks to Dave. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in this year, interacted with the show, and just been generally lovely by coming on and things like that. Hope everyone has a wonderful new year, and hope 2021's dead good. Up the toffees, the title's on.